music, 50s on 5 XM.
January to December, we'll have moments to remember.
We call them the Pop 50s years. The big bands had faded. Rock and roll was lurking around the corner, and popular music lovers of all ages were singing and dancing to these original hits of the early and mid-1950s. I'm Bob Moke with some moments to remember from the 50s on 5.
We will have these moments to remember.
One night I was late, came home from a date, slipped out of my shoes at the door. Then from the front room I heard a jump tune. I looked in and here's what I saw. There in the night was a wonderful scene. Mom was dancing with Dad to my record machine. And while they danced, only one thing was wrong. They were trying to waltz to a rock and roll song. A 1, 2, and then rock. 1, 2, and then roll. They did the rock and roll waltz. Rock 2, 3, roll 2, 3. It looks so cute to me. I love the rock and roll waltz. 1, 2, and then rock. 1, 2, and then roll. 1, 2, and then jump. It's good for your soul. It's old, but it's new. Let's do the rock and roll waltz. There in the night was a wonderful scene. Mom was dancing with Dad to my record machine. And while they danced, only one thing was wrong. They were trying to waltz to a rock and roll song. 1, 2, and then rock. 1, 2, and then roll. 1, 2, and then jump. It's good for your soul. It's old, but it's new. Let's do the rock and roll waltz. Let's do the rock and roll waltz.
Tell me why, though I try to forget, tell me why I think of you yet. I know I'll never be free. What has happened to me? Tell me why. When we danced until 3, tell me why my heart couldn't see. I never dreamed of romance, never gave it a chance. When I think of how you looked that day in your gown of silk and lace, this was the time and the place. Tell me why I keep fooling my heart when I know it was love from the start. Why don't we give it a try? If you know, tell me why. When I think of how you looked that day in your gown of silk and lace, should have known the day you came my way that this was the time and the place. Tell me why I keep fooling my heart when I know it was love from the start. Why don't we give it a try? If you know, tell me why. Tell me why.
One of the early, very popular performances by the Four Aces, late 1951 for Tell Me Why. Al Albert's on the lead vocal. And K-Star's #1 hit from early 1956, the Rock and Roll Waltz. Hi there. It's another 2 hours of the best-selling recordings from the first half of the 50s decade. Actually, a bit more than half. And if you were actively following popular music at the time, you'll probably recognize most of the songs we've got lined up this week. Our Pop 50s Hall of Fame artist is among the all-time great male vocalists. In the XM Record Museum, we'll give you a taste of a Rodgers and Hart Broadway tune that took about 10 years to get seriously noticed. And we'll wrap up Moments to Remember with our High Five countdown of records popular during this week in one of the earliest of the 50s years. Between now and then, Perry Como, Gale Storm, Doris Day, Rusty Draper, Nat King Cole, Joe Stafford. And now, from 1951, you'll remember this one by the Weavers.
On top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow,
I lost my true lover for courting so slow.
For courting's a pleasure,
for courting's a pleasure,
but parting is grief,
parting is grief,
and the false-hearted lover
and the false-hearted lover
is worse than a thief.
is worse than a thief.
A thief will just rob you,
A thief will just rob you,
take what you have,
and take what you have.
but a false-hearted lover
But a false-hearted lover
will lead you to the grave,
will lead you to the grave,
and the grave will decay you,
and the grave will decay you,
turn you to dust.
and turn you to dust.
Not one boy in 100
Not one boy in 100
a poor girl can trust.
a poor girl can trust.
They'll hug you and kiss you,
They'll hug you and kiss you,
tell you more lies
and tell you more lies.
than cross ties on a railroad,
Cross ties on a railroad,
or stars in the sky.
stars in the sky.
all you young maidens.
Come all you young maidens.
And listen to me.
And listen to me.
Never place your affection.
Never place your affection
on a green willow tree.
On a green willow tree.
For the leaves they will wither.
The leaves they will wither.
The roots they will die.
The roots they will die.
You'll all be forsaken.
You'll all be forsaken.
And never know why.
And never know why.
Just how you feel. You say we're through. What can I do? It's over now, but it was grand. I understand. If you ever change your mind, come back to me and you will find me waiting there at your command. I understand. I miss you so. Please believe me when I tell you I just can't stand to see you go. You know, please understand just how I feel. Your love for me, why not reveal? And we will know this time it's real. We'll understand. You so, please believe me when I tell you I just can't stand to see you go. You know, please understand just how I feel. Your love for me, why not reveal? This time it's real, we'll understand.
1955.
The song had been around for several years already, but it wasn't until Perez Prado's band was seen and heard performing it in the 1955 Jane Russell film Underwater, and his recording of it soon after zoomed to the top of the charts, that Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White became a household title. And we heard from June Valley with the ballad I Understand Just How You Feel. That shared top 10 honors with the other version by the Four Tunes back in 1954, and followers of 1960s music may also recall one or two later recordings as well. As we generally do about this time, let's check out This Week at the Movies. A couple of brand new late August films are in our Moments to Remember spotlight this time. One of Marilyn Monroe's more critically acclaimed acting roles was her portrayal of Cherie, the cafe singer, opposite Don Murray's rodeo cowboy Bo Decker. The Josh Logan film Bus Stop opened this week in 1956, and an adaptation of the folk song Paper of Pins rode high as the movie's popular theme. Meanwhile, this week back in 1950, a dynamic, up-and-coming, operatic-styled singer from Philadelphia was appearing in his first starring role opposite Kathryn Grayson in MGM's The Toast of New Orleans. Wedged in among the operatic arias was a new pop song that would eventually rank among the decade's best-selling ballads, with the Bus Stop song and Be My Love. Here are the Four Lads and Mario Lanza.
I'll give to you a paper of pins, and that's the way our love begins. If you will marry me, if you will marry me. I'll give to you a feathery bed with downy pillows for your head. If you will marry me, if you will marry me. But you don't want my paper of pins, and you don't want my feathery bed. You want my house and money instead. That is plain to see. Well, here they are, take everything, my house, my money, my wedding ring, and in the bargain I'll throw in me, if you will marry me. Everything, my house, my money, my wedding ring, and in the bargain I'll throw in me, if you will marry me.
My dreams, the dreams that you inspire with every sweet desire. Be my love, and with your kisses set me burning. hand in hand, we'll find love's promised land. There'll be no one but you for me eternally. If you will be my my arms the way you filled my dreams, the dreams that you inspire with every sweet desire. Be my love, set me burning. One kiss is all I need to seal my fate, and hand in hand we'll find love's promised land. There'll be no one but you for me eternally. If you
we heard them on the radio, played them on the jukebox, and spun them around on our own portable record players. The great songs of the Pop 50s years. Back again on XM.
It will take more than a pack of wild horses pulling your wagon to keep you from me. It would take more than superior forces, even a dragon, to keep you from me. You can make fools out of other good guesses. Put me in blinkers, I know where you'd be. It would take schools of the finest professors, using their thinkers to keep you from me. What a sight you are, how bright you are, you glow. Take that sight away, and right away I'd go. Straight to your door over obstacle courses. Maybe I'm bragging, but surely you'll see. It would take more than a pack of wild horses pulling your wagon to keep you from me. Nothing could keep you from me. It would take more than a pack of wild horses pulling your wagon to keep you from me. It would take more than superior forces, even a dragon, to keep you from me. You can make fools out of other good guesses. Put me in blinkers, I know where you'd be. It would take schools of the finest professors, using their thinkers to keep you from me. What a sight you are, how bright you are, you glow. Take that sight away, and right away I'd go. Straight to your door over obstacle courses. Maybe I'm bragging, but surely you'll see. It would take more than the pack of wild horses pulling your wagon to keep you from me. Nothing can keep you from me. Nothing can keep you from me. I saw the harbor lights. They only told me we were parting. The same old harbor lights that once brought you to me. I watched the harbor lights. How could I help if tears were starting? Goodbye to tender nights beside the silvery sea. I long to hold you near and kiss you just once more. But I was on the ship and you were on the shore. Now I know lonely nights, for all the while my heart is whispering. Some other harbor lights will steal your love from me. I long to hold you near and kiss you just once more. But I was on the ship and you were on the shore. Now I know lonely nights, for all the while my heart is whispering. Some other harbor lights will steal your love from me.
The swing and sway of Sammy Kaye first hit the big time during the late 1930s, but unlike most of the other sweet and swing bands, it not only survived, but thrived well beyond the end of the so-called big band era, turning out hit records into the 1960s and appearing in ballrooms and dance halls even beyond that. His 1950 hit Harbor Lights featured Tony Alamo on vocal. Perry Como sang Wild Horses from 1953, and it was Ray Sinatra conducting the studio orchestra for Mario Lanza's hugely popular Be My Love, issued on RCA Victor's classical Red Seal label. You're listening to Moments to Remember here at the 50s on 5. I'm Bob Moke with XM's weekly 2-hour tribute to the original version pop music favorites of the early and mid-1950s. If you have a comment or question about anything you hear, our email address is 50s@xmradio.com. Still ahead, songs by Frankie Lane, The Crew Cuts, Julie London, and Eddie Fisher. But first, it's Gail Storm with her debut hit from the fall of 1955.
You went away and left me a long time ago. Now you come back knocking at my door. I hear you knocking, but ago, but you said goodbye. Now you come back telling all those lies. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking. Go back where you've been. I told you way back a long time ago, the day would come when you miss me so. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking. Go back where you've been. You better go back to your used to be, because your love's no good to me. I hear you knocking, but you can't come in. I hear you knocking. I know where you be.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Moments to remember from the 50s on 5.
When the sun in the morning peeps over the hill and it kisses the roses round my windowsill, then my heart fills with gladness when I hear the trill of the birds in the treetops on Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee-dee, it gives me a thrill.
mockingbird's trill. Tra-la-la, twiddly-dee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on the mockingbird hill. Survey all my kingdom while everything's still. Only me and the sky and an old whippoorwill singing songs in the twilight on Mockingbird Hill. Tra-la-la, tweedledee, it gives me a thrill to wake up in the morning to the mockingbird's trill. Tra-la-la, tweedledee, there's peace and goodwill. You're welcome as the flowers on the mockingbird hill. La da da.
After a bit of record success with his innovative instrumental multi-tracked electric guitar creations, Les Paul, along with wife Mary Ford, really hit the big time in early 1951 with their first million-selling smash of Mockingbird Hill. And if you remember last week, we featured the popular instrumental Terry's Theme, composed by actor, director, comic genius Charlie Chaplin for his early 50s film Limelight. Earlier on, in 1936 to be exact, Chaplin had written another melody that was featured in the score of his film masterpiece Modern Times. Fast forward to 1954, when the melody was slightly altered and lyrics were added, resulting in the lovely ballad Smile. We heard Nat King Cole's popular recording from that year. With all this talk about an earlier time, let's now revisit the XM Record Museum for a song from the Rodgers and Hart songbook that would eventually become a true standard. But there was a long delay. The problem was, when their Broadway musical, Pal Joey, made its 1941 debut, there was a legal battle going on between radio and ASCAP, the firm that represented the interests of nearly all major songwriters of the time. During the months of what came to be known as the ASCAP ban, many new songs were not permitted to be performed or promoted on the radio, and as a result remained largely unheard by the general public. Years later, thanks to a popular new piano arrangement by Bill Snyder and his orchestra, and a slew of additional versions that also sold extremely well, this tune was eventually given its due. But back in 1941, Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered was just another good song that fell between the cracks. A couple of recordings of it were released, including one by the King of Swing, Benny Goodman.
can gamble for matchsticks, you can gamble for gold. The stakes may be heavy or small, but if you haven't gambled for love and lost, then you haven't gambled at all. They call me the moonlight gambler. I've gambled for love and lost. When I gamble for love and it isn't in the cards, oh, what heartaches it can cost me. Win or lose, I'm a moonlight gambler. And a winner is what I long to be. So I'll gamble for love just as long as I live, till the day Lady Luck smiles at me. You can gamble for matchsticks, you can gamble for gold. The stakes may be heavy or small, but if you haven't gambled for love and lost, then you haven't gambled at all. No, if you haven't gambled for love in the moonlight, then you haven't gambled at all. So I'll gamble for love just as long as I live, till the day Lady Luck smiles at me. They call me the moonlight gambler. They call me the moonlight gambler.
The original popular hits from the early and mid 1950s.
50s on 5 XM Radio.
My guitar, my guitar. Tell of the hearts that this vagabond has broken. Tell of the fun that I've had. Tell of the loving and the laughing and the joking. Back when I was glad. Oh, back when I was glad. Tell it pretty, my guitar. Tell of the days when the riverboat was churning. Oh, what a gambler's spree. Tell of the haughty way old Lady Luck was spurning everyone but me. Yes, everyone but me. Speak of the time when I took my biggest gamble, the game where hearts were high. Speak of the funny way my heart began to ramble when she caught my eye. Yes, when she caught my eye. Tell all the folks that this life's a game of poker. A fool and his gold must part. But in this hectic world, the biggest fool's the joker who gambles with his heart. who gambles with his heart. Tell it sad, my guitar.
Loving you, whatever else I may do, my love for you will live till time itself is through. I'll never stop wanting you, and when forever is through, my heart will beat the way it does each time we meet. The night doesn't question the stars that appear in the sky. So why should I question the stars that appear in my eyes? Of this I'm more than just sure. My love will last and endure. I'll never, no, stop loving you. Of this I'm more than just sure. My love will last and endure. I'll never, no, I'll never stop loving you.
Love Me or Leave Me was the 1955 Doris Day film that related Hollywood's version of singer Ruth Etting's dramatic story. I'll Never Stop Loving You was the hit ballad from that film. And a whole lot of gambling going on with Rusty Draper's Gambler's Guitar and Frankie Lane's Moonlight Gambler, following that Bill Snyder one-finger piano treatment of Bewitched from 1950. You may remember her as the wife of Jack Webb or Bobby Troup, or perhaps for her acting role on the TV series Emergency. But back in the mid-1950s, it was her sultry voice and those pin-up-worthy album covers that first thrust Julie London into the public eye. Her famous version of Cry Me a River is minutes away, as are Eddie Fisher with his early 50s signature tune, the Ames Brothers, Lonnie Donegan, Tony Bennett, and Rosemary Clooney. We'll have our Hall of Fame Artist Salute, play a game of Then and Then, and close out this week's Moments to Remember with a High Five record countdown from late August in one of the Pop 50s years. It's Shaboom that everyone remembers, but a couple months earlier, there was Crazy About You Baby from 1954, the first hit for the Crew Cuts.
about you, baby, want you all to myself. Crazy about you, baby, no one else on the shelf. Give me all your love and all that you can afford. Let me keep you always ever to be adored. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself.
Now the time has come, my honey, will you please be my wife? I will take good care of you the rest of your life. I'm gonna spend a lot of money, house built for two, a cottage in the country for just me and you.
Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy about you, baby.
Man, I'm crazy about you.
Crazy about you, baby.
Don't know what I'm gonna do.
Crazy about you, baby.
I'm just bubbling with joy.
Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy. Crazy. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. After we are married, we will raise a family. All the plans we had before will fit perpetuity. We'll be living humble in our own little way.
If we're to be so fortunate, pray this be the day.
Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Crazy about you, baby. Want you all to myself. Crazy. Yes, I'm crazy. Crazy, baby. Want you all to myself.
Anytime you feel downhearted, that will prove your love for me is true. Anytime you're thinking about me, that's the time I'll be thinking of you. So anytime you say you want me back again, that's the time I'll come back home to you.
1955.
Now you
cry the long night through. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. Now you say you're sorry for being so untrue. Well, you can cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. You drove me, nearly drove me out of my head, while you never shed a tear. Remember, I remember all that you said. Told me love was too plebeian, told me you were through with me, and now you say you love me. Well, just to prove you do, come on and cry me a river, cry me a river. I cried a river over you. I cried a river over you. I cried a river over you.
50s on 5 is featuring songs from the Pop 50s years. Moments to Remember with XM's Bob Moke. Heard every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Weekend encore broadcasts at 9 a.m. Saturday and 7 p.m. Sunday.
We will have these moments to remember. In the tavern, all night, sitting in the tavern. In the tavern, singing songs.
Sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, though he loves his mate. Sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, scared of going home because it's too darn late. Don't look at me, sweetheart, with scorn in your eyes. Been out all night, gonna tell you no lies. Stopped in one place, heard them singing a song, like a lonely sparrow, started singing along. Just singing, sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, though he loves his mate. Sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, scared of going home because it's too darn late. In walked a blonde, and dear, she asked me to dance. I told that blonde that there wasn't a chance. I love my kids and my beautiful wife. That's the honest truth, dear, and I swear by my life. Just singing, sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, oh, he loves his mate. Sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, scared of going home. things I am, sweetheart, and things that I ain't. 'Cause I'm a man, and a man is no saint. Won't you forgive? 'Cause I'm telling you true. 'Cause I'm telling you true. I was in the tavern, only thinking of you.
Just singing, sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, though he loves his maid. Sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop,
scared of going home because it's too dark.
Just singing, sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop, oh, he loves his maid. In the tavern, sparrow in the treetop, sparrow in the treetop,
scared of going home because it's
too darn late.
Dream on, little girl, dream on, little girl, dream on.
I dreamed that I was Queen of France, and at a royal palace dance I waltzed all night with the Prince of Timbuktu. He praised my beauty to the skies, and when I looked into his eyes I realized the prince looked just like you. I dreamed that I was Queen of Spain, sailing on the bounding main, when a lofty pirate ship hove into view. A handsome buccaneer so bold and captured me and all my gold. I let him hold me 'cause he looked like you. I dreamed I was Princess of Bombay, inspecting my army one Monday. 1,000 men came marching by, each looked like you, each winked his eye. Gee, I wish I could have slept till Sunday. I dreamed that at my coronation I shocked every foreign nation, giving up my throne to marry you. 'Cause I'd be queen of all the world the day you say that I'm your girl, and every dream I dream comes true. I dreamed that at my coronation I shocked every foreign nation, giving up my throne to marry you. 'Cause I'd be queen of all the world the day you say that I'm your girl, and every dream I dream.
Buccaneers and wedding rings,
every dream I dream comes true.
Betty Johnson took us back to late 1956 for her happy hit called I Dreamed. Guy Mitchell's Sparrow in the Treetop from 51, and Julie London's Cry Me a River from 55. Into hour number 2, it's time for our Pop 50s Hall of Fame salute, where we recognize the most popular and prolific performers of the era that we cover each week on Moments to Remember. And he's a given, Frank Sinatra. In the 1940s, a big band crooner and Bobby Sox idol. And in the 50s, Academy Award-winning actor and hip, confident pro in the recording studio. Frank not only created a series of legendary albums arranged by Nelson Riddle, Billy May, and Gordon Jenkins, but he kept cranking out those pop single hits too. Here are a few that we remember.
Hey, jealous lover, I'm telling you true. I know that you're jealous, but there's no one but you. Fairy tales can come true. It can happen to you if you're young at heart. For it's hard, you will find, to be narrow of mind if you're young at heart. Those fingers in my hair, that sly come hither stare, that strips my conscience bare, it's witchcraft. That's the beginning, just one of the clues. You've had your first lesson
in learning the blues. When somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you. All the way, you're acting kinda smart until your heart just goes whap. Those trees that breeze, they're part of the tender trap.
The year was 1954.
Three coins in the fountain, each one seeking happiness, thrown by three hopeful lovers. Which one will the fountain bless? Three hearts in the fountain, each heart longing for its home. There they lie in the fountain, somewhere in the heart of Rome. Which one will the fountain bless? Which one will the fountain bless? Three coins in the fountain, through the ripples how they shine. Just one wish will be granted, one heart will wear a valentine. Make it mine, make it mine, make it mine. Three coins in the fountain, through the ripples how they shine. And just one wish will be granted, one heart will wear a valentine. Make it mine, make it mine, make it I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me, so deep in my heart that you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair never will go so well. But why should I try to resist when, baby, I know so well I've got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near, in spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and repeats
beats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time that I do, just the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. Sacrifice anything, come what might, for the sake of having you near. In spite of a warning voice that comes in the night and repeats how it yells in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Why not use your mentality? Step up, wake up to reality. But each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. 'Cause I've got you under my skin. Yes, I've got you under my skin.
XM 50s on 5.
Sentimental me, guess I'll always be so in love with you, don't know what to do. Sentimental me, dreaming while I live, living just to give all my love to you, no one else will do. Sentimental me, reaching for the moon and wishing on a star. On my honeymoon, I want to be where you are. Darling, can't you see? It was meant to be. I'm in love with you. Say you love me too. Sentimental me. Reaching for the moon, reaching for the moon, and wishing on a star, wishing on a star. On my honeymoon, on my honeymoon, I want to be where you are. Darling, can't you see? It was meant to be. I'm in love with you. Say you love me too. Sentimental me.
That was the record that really kicked the Ames brothers' career into high gear. Sentimental Me, with the novelty hit Rag Mop on the flip side, was among 1950's best-selling singles. Now, here's a bit of trivia for you. Which million-selling movie song of the 50s was issued on a record that showed neither the actual song title nor the correct name of the performer on the label? In late 1951, the Italian-language film Anna was released in Italy, starring one of that country's most beautiful actresses, Silvana Mangano. When this popular international movie finally made its U.S. debut in early 1953, one of the film's musical highlights was released as a single record that turned into quite a hit. Reading now from the original MGM label, it says, Anna, as introduced by Silvana Mangano from the soundtrack of the film Anna. Actually, the song was called El Bayon and was sung by Flo Sandons, who had dubbed Mangano's singing voice. But why carp? Here's Anna.
Me voy pa' bailar el bayón. Tengo ganas de bailar el nuevo compás. Dicen todo cuando me ven pasar. Chica, ¿dónde va? Me voy pa' bailar el bayón. Cuando me ven pasar, chica, ¿dónde vas? Me voy pa' bailar el bayón. Tengo ganas de bailar el nuevo compás. Dicen todo cuando me ven pasar, chica, ¿dónde vas? Me voy pa' bailar el bayón.
The love songs, the novelties, the movie themes, the sweeping instrumentals, all part of the pop music sound of the early and mid-1950s. We're hearing them again on XM.
17, cool and solid 17, young enough to dance and sing, old enough to get that swing, past 16, done been kissed, graduated and got that twist, the kind of love I can't resist. At 17, now sloppy shirt, old blue jeans, dirty shoes, by all means, patch of blonde, cross-eyed hair, jukebox baby ain't no square. 17, hot rod queen, cutest gal you've ever seen. Tell the world I'm really keen on my hip cat doll of 17. Square. 17, high rod queen, cutest gal you've ever seen. Tell the world I'm really keen on my hip cat doll of 17.
A memory from the autumn months of 1955. 17 by Boyd Bennett and the Rockets. And the haunting motion picture theme from the 1954 John Wayne film, The High and the Mighty. Leroy Holmes conducted, Fred Lowry did the whistling. Remember Lonnie Donegan's skiffle group from England? Their Rock Island line is coming up. Also, Perry Como's #1 ballad, Wanted, and this week's High Five Countdown. First, it's our feature called Then and Then, where we play a song you know, but in an earlier version, with which you might not be familiar. Then was 1959. Elvis was in the Army, but his records were still selling like crazy, including this one.
Pardon me if I'm sentimental when we say goodbye. Now and then there's a fool such as I.
Now and Then, There's a Fool Such as I, a song that was several years old by the time Elvis got it. Originally a country hit by Hank Snow, there was a nice pop version released in early 1953 that reached the national top 20. It wasn't one of Joe Stafford's biggest records, but one that's well worth revisiting.
Don't be angry with me, should I cry when you're gone? Yet I'll dream a little dream as years go by. Now and then there's a fool such as I. Now and then there's a fool such as I am over you. You taught me how to love, and now you say that we are through. I there's a fool such as I. Now and then there's a fool such as I am over you. You taught me how to love, and now you say we're through. I'm a fool, but I love you, dear, until the day I die. Now and then there's a fool such as I. Such as I, now and then, there's a fool such as I.
Now this here's a story about the Rock Island Line. The Rock Island Line, she runs down into New Orleans. And just outside of New Orleans, there's a big toll gate. You know, all the trains, they go through the toll gate while they gotta pay the man some money. But of course, if you got certain things on board, you're okay, you don't have to pay the man nothing. And just now, we see a train, she coming down the line. And when she come up near the toll gate, the driver, he shout down to the man, he say, I got pigs, I got horses, I got cows, I got sheep, I got all livestock, I got all livestock, I got all livestock. And the man say, well, you all right, boy, just get on through, you don't have to pay me nothing. And the train go through. And when he go through the toll gate, the train get up a little bit of steam and a little bit of speed. And when the driver think he's safely on the other side, he shout back down the line to the man. He said, I fooled you, I fooled you. I got pig iron, I got pig iron, I got old pig iron. Now I'll tell you where I'm going, boy. Down the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Yes, the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. And if you own the ride, you got to ride it like you find to get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line. I may be right, I may be wrong. You know you're gonna miss me when I'm gone. Down the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Yes, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. And if you own the ride, you got to ride it like you find to get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line. Hallelujah, I'm safe from sin. The good Lord's coming for to see me again. Down the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Yeah, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. And if you won't ride, you gotta ride it like you find to get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line. A, B, C, W, X, Y, Z. Cat's on the cover, but he don't see me. Down the Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. The Rock Island Line is the road to ride. Yes, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. And if you won't ride, you gotta ride it like you find to get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line. Rock Island Line, she's a mighty good road. Rock Island Line, the road to ride. Yes, the Rock Island Line is a mighty good road. And if you won't ride, you gotta ride it like you find to get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line.
1954.
Wanted someone who kissed me and held me closely, then stole my heart. Wanted someone I trusted who gave no warning we'd ever part.
She was last seen hiding out in someone's arms. He knew nothing of the danger in her charms.
A jury may find her guilty, but I'd forgive her if I could see
a signed confession that she's repented and really wanted no one but me. someone who kissed me and held me closely, then stole my heart. Wanted someone I trusted, who gave no warning that we'd ever part. She was last seen hiding out in someone's arms. He knew nothing of the danger in her charms. A jury may find her guilty, but I'd forgive her if I could see a signed confession that she's repented and really wanted no one but me.
50s on 5 Radio XM.
The original popular hits from the early and mid-1950s.
Do you remember? Do you remember?
It's time to revisit this calendar week from one of the Pop 50s years and play back the records that topped the charts. It's our Moments to Remember High Five Countdown.
In the news, August 31st, the former enemies of the World War are in San Francisco, finalizing negotiations on the peace treaty to formally end World War II. Japan agrees to pay the International Red Cross about $15 per POW, while the Allies agree not to bring charges against it. On September 4th, President Truman will address the nation from that conference in the very first live coast-to-coast television broadcast. Amos and Andy, Kraft Television Theater, Gillette Cavalcade of Sports, and Mama are the shows we're watching on TV. At the Moving Picture House, it's A Place in the Sun, David and Bathsheba, and Disney's Alice in Wonderland. And on the radio and in the music stores, these are the 5 favorites for this August week in the year 1951. Record number 5. An old bawdy ballad from the early 20th century. Cleaned up for mainstream 1951 sensibilities, it's Dinah Shore.
Sweet violets, sweeter than the roses, covered all over from head to toe, covered all over with sweet violets.
There once was a farmer who took a young miss in back of the barn, where he gave her a lecture on horses and chickens and eggs, and told her that she had such beautiful manners that suited a girl of her charms, a girl that he wanted to take in his washing and ironing, and then if she did, they could get married and raise lots of sweet violets, sweeter than the roses, covered all over from head to toe, covered all over with sweet violets. The girl told the farmer that he'd better stop, and she called her father, and he called a taxi and got there before very long, 'cause someone was doing his little girl right for a change, and so that's why he said, if you marry her, son, you're better off single, 'cause it's always been my belief marriage will bring a man nothing but sweet violets,
sweeter than the roses, covered all over from head to toe, covered all over with sweet violets.
The farmer decided he'd wed anyway,
way and started in planning for his wedding suit, which he purchased for only $1. But then he found out he was just out of money, and so he got left in the lurch, a-standing and waiting in front of the end of the story, which just goes to show all a girl wants from a man is his sweet violets, sweeter than the roses, covered all over from head to toe, covered all over with sweet violets, sweet violets.
Sweet Violets by Dinah Shore, ranked number 5 this week in 1951. We move up the list to record 4 and a former number 1 hit. Les Baxter conducts Nelson Riddle's arrangement for Nat King Cole. Here's Too Young.
They try to tell us we're too young to really be in love. They say that love's a word we've only heard, but can't begin to know the meaning of. And yet we're not too young to know this love will last though years may go. And then someday they may recall we were not too young at all. Too young to know this love will last though years may go. And then someday they may recall we were not too young at all.
Moments to remember.
It's the loveliest night of the year. Stars twinkle above, and you almost can touch them from here. Words of your hand, and my heart starts to beat like a child when a birthday is near. So kiss me, my sweet, it's the loveliest night of the year. Touch of your hand, and my heart starts to beat like a child when a birthday is near. So kiss me, my sweet, it's the loveliest night of
Earlier in this week's Moments to Remember, we heard Mario Lanza sing Be My Love. There's our record number 3, based on the 19th century waltz Over the Waves and adapted for Lanza's 1951 movie, The Great Caruso. It's the loveliest night of the year. Moving ahead in our High Five Countdown, it's time for a ballad that turned a promising young singer named Tony Bennett into a national celebrity practically overnight. Our second-ranked hit for this week in 1951, Because of You.
Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, my romance had its start. Because of you, the sun will shine, the moon and stars will say you're mine, forever and never to part. I only live for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be near you like this. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. I only live for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be near you like this. Because and smile because of you.
Percy Faith conducting the Columbia Records Studio Orchestra on Tony Bennett's landmark recording of Because of You, which comes in at the runner-up spot this week. Number 1 is a couple of minutes away after this extra, which you'd also find in the record shops during the summer months of '51. Though several decades later we tend to remember only the most dominant versions of some songs, back in the pop 50s years, as had been the practice since the early 20th century, in fact, virtually all of the major record companies would release their own unique version of the top song hits of the day. In the case of Because of You, the second most successful release did quite well at the time, reaching the national top 10. Let's listen to that one now, from the orchestra and chorus of Les Baxter.
Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, my romance had its start. Because of you, the sun will shine, the moon and stars will say you're mine forever and ever to part. I only live for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be near you like this. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you. I only live for your love and your kiss. It's paradise to be near you like this. Because of you, my life is now worthwhile, and I can smile because of you.
Pretty arrangement, don't you think? And the most successful of the also ran versions of Because of You, Les Baxter, with an extra this week. And after 4 ballads in a row, let's pick it up with a record that sits atop our Moments to Remember High Five, written by playwright William Saroyan and his cousin Ross Bagdasarian, a.k.a. David Seville, for an off-Broadway play called The Sun. It's Rosie with Come On to My House.
Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you apple, a plum, and a apricot too. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you figs and dates and grapes and cakes. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you candy. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you Christmas tree. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you marriage ring and a pomegranate too. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you peach and pear and I love your hair. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, come on. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you Easter egg. Come on to my house, I'm gonna give you everything, everything, everything. Come on to my house.
Record number 1 for this August week in 1951, Come On to My House, one of Rosemary Clooney's 2 best-selling record hits. The other one you'll hear 1 week from now as part of our next High Five, dated 1954. And that's it for now. More classic 50s pop when we get together next time. Thanks for listening.
Moments to Remember is produced by Bob Moke in the Washington, D.C. studios of XM Satellite Radio. If you'd like to email us your comments, address them to 50s@xmradio.com. And come around again next time for another 2 hours of classic pop from the early and mid-1950s. Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Weekend encore broadcasts at 9 a.m. Saturday and 7 p.m. Sunday. Moments to Remember from the 50s on 5.